Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi here with another legendary video. No, I'm not lagging, I'm just incompetent. So, you are not authorized to be here. This is Manning National Zoo Legendary. This is, I'm going to say it right now, this is the higher level. These are the senior legendaries. This and Tidal Basin. We got through the first part pretty easy, second part pretty easy, then you come to the aquarium. I've wiped in here before, so I'm gonna, this is usually a time in the video where I say thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing my videos. I've wiped here before. I don't want to wipe here again. So this is one of these groups. I was trying to get the capital. This last week was horrific for me work-wise, so I was trying to get my capital done, and I randomly was going to join the next legendary. It made me the leader and put me in this group. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. I made a video recently, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I talked about getting support for doing things you want, or if you're an artist, getting support for your creations. Just want to reiterate that, well, I guess maybe we're about to all die here. So thank you again for watching, and holy mackerel. Now, this is my damage build, not my file jammer. So you see what happens when you don't have someone in group file jamming? You're getting technical powers all up in your rear. Resin people, you're getting bombed constantly. But we don't have enough damage. And I mentioned one of these videos recently, then I gotta carry the group with my damage then. I can't do it alone, so I'm not so powerful that I could solo this, but I need bodies to absorb the damage and people to kill things off, and that's what kind of is going to happen when you have to be the DPS leader by a large margin in a group. Just want to support you in your ideas to be a creator. If you want to do YouTube videos, please do it. What's important isn't that your video looks perfect. What's important is your content. Someone that's a commenter just started doing videos recently. They don't talk in them, that's fine, but eventually we want to hear you talking. We just don't want to see your videos. But if you look at my first videos, that's exactly what I did. I did a little commentary, and then you just got to watch my video. But eventually I just started talking about them. I'm skipping around a lot because I'm only going to do the sections. This took over 2 hours just to get to the boss. So this wasn't, quickly. We got through the content okay, but sometimes we ran into problems. So this is another area where you get Mugambi'd. You usually get Mugambi'd here because you've never done this before and you rush out to the next section and you get caught from behind. This is my build that is momentum and waveform, and for all the people that do not want you to use waveform, if you use one damaging skill, i.e. you use not turret and drone, don't use waveform, because it says right in there you have two skills, and one of the skills is always going to be at 30%, and then it's going to go down to 20%. While it's down at 20%, the other one's going to be at 10. You're always going to have a skill at 15% or higher. And if you pair it with something like Perfect Shock and Awe, you're always going to add another 20%. And if you use test subjects, it's going to be a additional 40%. So you're always going to be doing shitloads of damage. It's not even a question. So there you go. And if I disparage British people, I'm sorry. I don't want to disparage you on YouTube. It's just math, as he would say. Look at me with 300 subscribers talking to people that have 70,000 people subscribing. No one cares what I say. But anyways, here we go. We put this stuff down pretty far. Dog goes down, the Chunga goes down. There's going to be 1/3 wave here. So when you kill first wave, they come on the left. Second wave, they spawn over here on the right. Third wave is the secret. Okay, now you think you can go advance to the next section. So I'm going to run all the way down there, hoping that someone would spawn. I'll throw my skills, and that's what I'm hoping for, but no one does it. Maybe they're waiting for me, which is okay. So I'm going to put my skill right up here. Come on, Ronan, you can do it. Ambrosia. You can do it. No, I'm not going to do it. There I go. Now I'm going to go run and start it. So normally in the beginning when I first played this, we all ran out here and then surprise! They spawn out that door, then you're kind of caught in a compromising position. Sorry. Got a new laptop. Really sweat over it. I will have a review on it, and it'll be, I promise the review will be a little bit better, and my tongue will be a little bit more acid. I have a lot less. This is the next half of that when you're going out here. There's a lot of groups get crushed here. It's a wide open area. There's not tons of people. Your build needs to be supreme in this section. If you have a weak build, it's going to show. Because you're going to be out on an island half the time. Because you have those folks over there, then they drop another set of folks, and then they drop some snipers way in the back. If you run all the way over there, people are going to spawn on this side. They're going to get momentum on you, and you don't want that. So this is a wide-ranging fight. And you'll see one of the guys is camping the spawn. Now, in hindsight, I don't know why he's camping the spawn, because you better have a sweet-ass build to camp the spawn with chungas coming out that are going to hive the crap out of you. That's Caesar. When I first did videos, the dogs would go crazy, and they have been conditioned now to get squirted if they make a lot of noise while I'm recording. So it's late for them, but they're going to have to put up with it. Again, Legendary Manning Zoo is not so much, it's kind of more of a long endurance, a high endurance, long slog. Where you can even make some mistakes in the traditional legendaries, Capital, District Union, and Roosevelt. Title-based in this will punish you for making those kind of mistakes. It's even a higher stake game than the traditional legendary. At this point now, I've run the fight so much, there's a couple really cool things you can do, but traditionally you fight kind of like this. I'm not going to move out further because I realize the next thing is going to be spawning is a chunga. I want to get my skills ready to get on the chunga, and you can see my buddy standing over there. Now the chunga is going to come out of that door, and I'm going WTF. You probably shouldn't go there. So I'm going to get more ammo. I am going to decide what am I going to do with my skills. I think I'm going to say I'll just kill that, and I will wait here a second, and then I'm going to throw it like intermediately. This guy's still there. Prediction. This isn't fair because I've already seen it. Prediction, he's going to die. I'm going to get more ammo, and I'm going to go one last time. Try to start that off. Line fire trying to get the lazy drone to do its job. Alright, so he's coming out. And predictably,
an agent needs assistance.
And he's gonna go down. But he has a whoopie. And I didn't really realize people come out of that hole, so now I'm running. But I have my turret there, and I'm gonna go support these guys. Now even I make a mistake. I should be retreating further back and letting this go. So now that guy goes down. And I should be pulling back even further. Normally I don't use heal kits, but I'm like, I would be advised to use one here. They're fighting over bones. Roxy, don't embarrass yourself in front of company. So this is a mistake on my part. Mistake. This is usually when I say thank you for watching, and appreciate everyone that likes, comments, subscribe, resubscribe, subscribe, all of that stuff. But the Division 2 gods are smiling on me. I get a res, so now I'm going to go right back to where please go back, don't die again. I'm going to go back to where I should be. And you have to make a decision at a certain point. So I'm going to protect our flank now. This turret will protect our flank. By the way, Gold Dragon dies a lot. Gold, if I ever meet you, you died a lot in this mission. Constantly. Almost like he wanted to be carried. Like he was doing laundry, so he would just die so he could do his laundry. So one thing I also submit to you, you don't always need to get the golds. Just knock down as many enemies as possible to just thin it so that you can concentrate fire. We obviously get through here. This is a shitty part right here. So this is a tough spot. Those other spots we moved quite a bit. And this is a bad spot. So number one, you don't go out there because you're going to die. And you'll see that Gold Bond, i.e. Gold Dragon, but he's going to be Gold Bond at this point. Gold Bond powder gets smoked out there like a cheap cigar. That's not where you fight it. As soon as you get one grenade, you need to get out of there. I got heals out at this point, and I got Bile Jammer. What's hard about this, if you're a weapon DPS, not everyone gets in your line of fire. If you're Grenadier, if you're a Grenader guy, you have rollers, you know, it's just, it's a tough place to fight from. And if you're a traditional DPS person, you get tired of sitting here and waiting. You get shelled constantly. So what's notable about this section is a Chunga's going to come in from the left. And there's Roxy on cue. Roxy, meet Squirt. Caesar, get out of there. Caesar, get out of there. Caesar just got squared. Get up here and go over here. Come here. And you eat that bull. Get out of there. Bull. Bone. Roxy, leave him alone. Go over there, Roxy. Go. Sorry about that, fellow YouTubers. So, Gold Bond gets up, but they need to be inside here. So it's hard for DPS people to sit and do the fight from inside here. They're not killing anything. This is why I have a Bile Jammer. You're constantly putting pressure and damage on people without seeing them. I hear everything that everyone tells me. You should do this, that, and the third, but this just works nonstop. That's bone falling on the floor, everyone. And that guy goes down again. It's a tough spot. So now I got to get up from watching the video. Get out of there. Knock it off, both of you. Blind fire. I don't even see the video. Caesar, go up there. Yep, go up there. Go up there. Go on. Go on. Come on. Go. Go up there with Macy. Go on. Go up there. Go up there, big guy. So we're struggling here, and it's taking quite a bit longer to do this than it should. So number one, when you're in a legendary, you got to put aside a little bit of time. On the first three legendaries, Capital, DCU, and Roosevelt, you could probably do those in 25 minutes. Let's say 20 minutes might be the fastest. But you're going to... I am sorry, these dogs are nutting up today. But manning and tidal basin are going to take a while. Like I said, I got 2 hours of footage before we even get to the final. And I understand one of the problems when you're in a legendary is in this part, if you had a technician or electronics build, you'd like to switch to it, but you can't because you're in this mode, because you're kind of stuck with what you brought. And that's one of the things about this. If you know the map, you have an advantage. You're in a pickup group, so you don't have some communication. You don't know if people have done this before. Here's the Chunga. Now, here's the disadvantage. Let me see what everyone is in this group. They should be high enough to know better. But we don't have enough DPS. This is what this is an example of, or we don't have the right kind of DPS. I could do Seekers, and with my Pulse would be great. The best spot to Pulse on this particular map is upstairs, because you can see everything and you can do everything. You can also launch Seekers from up there. But unless you're in a group, unless you have people who know what you're doing, you're playing up there by yourself. And as much as they're getting smoked, they never put out some heal things. So let's look at their skills. And if anyone has a revive hive, it's a wasted skill because we need DPS. And we're gonna pick you up. We're either gonna wipe or not wipe. I think one of the people has Ambrosia Jammer, that Banshee. I'm sorry, everyone. So one day I was doing a video, and I keep forgetting it's called Banshee, and I just called it Ambrosia. And I promised myself I was never going to make any more videos where I mention the word Ambrosia. So you're not hearing me say that. You think I'm saying it, but I'm not saying Ambrosia. So we're just struggling in this over and over and over. How do you know you don't have enough horsepower? This is the part of the map. So you might be able to get further when the enemy's in front of us and we can see the enemy and I have my heels up. We can do it. But as you know, that last fight is an absolute nutbuster. We're not gonna get to the whole fight. So spoiler alert. Thank you for getting this far. This is around 1:18. We're not going to get to the whole fight, so I might do a part 2. If you want to see part 2, I will make a part 2. I might do a part 2 anyways, but it's good to see these fights in Legendary so you kind of know what's going on. The fight in the alligator pit, you should be able to do that with your eyes closed. The first fight is like every first fight. It's wide open. You just got to get through it. It's the first test. But that second fight is an easy fight. The aquarium is sometimes tough because you're fighting from a hole from back in here. And I go down. So, how do you know your build's any good? And you can see my unbreakable went off. Well, what are you supposed to do in the build? The purpose of this build is to give indirect damage and to provide support. It's in an area where even if I put skills out, I have to put them exposed, and it's one skill. And look, I'm going up high, but I can still do my damage to people. If you're a skill build, like a skill damageable turrets, you're going to put them out there, and they're going to focus fire on your skills, so your skills aren't going to be that effective. And all the other, I'm going to put this, that, and the third out there. It just doesn't work. I'm not saying this is the only build, because it's not. Oh, and look, he's up here. So there's some calculation in my head that Unbreakable is still there, so I can stay here a little bit longer. Why don't I have capacitor? Because I need to do crowd control on tanks. Now, here's a fundamental mistake. at this point, we've been pushed so far in that we can't go forward. And
Agent down.
see, so there we go. This is usually a point in the video where I tell you thanks for subscribing, unsubscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. Because now everyone's wiped. There's another Chunga coming. Now, bravo to my teammates that they believe that I, Ronan Kazi, can carry them to the victory. I don't have another damaging skill, so I need a turret. So the race is, can my high-speed build put damage and all that other junk, and can I get all of my Hive back? This is the problem with Hive and Chem Launcher, because to change a skill, you got to wait for it to come up all the way. That's why I don't use those. I hear you telling me that I should use all those, but this is a pretty fast recharge rule. 11.5 seconds on a jammer pulse, which is really fast. So I'm going to get a turret out. It doesn't have a ton of damage, but it's sustained damage. It also takes damage from the Hive. I've never been pushed this far back up here. So I am up in that little room that you start in before you even go down there. So I'm going to go to the window so you can see, but that's where you should be fighting, up there in that window. I would do that, but it's going to piss those guys off down there. But I might give it one more. So now I'm going to go back down. I have the right skills. I'm going to put a turret out there. I'm going to start jamming them. Oh, hi. That'd been embarrassing to die after that.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Don't need to call me an asshole, sir. Turret. And again, this indirect damage, that's what you have in this vial jammer. Unbreakable ensures that you're not going to die for some BS stuff. Any type of jammer, any type of pulse lets you see the enemy. Oh, if I have a vial jammer when they tried it, that would be horrible if they got that, revive that person up. If they got to revive the Chunga. I remember the first time I was in here, the Chunga kept coming alive inside here. It was horrific. Oh, a dog comes in? Please, I want a dog. Again, this is why I do this build. It's for these legendaries, not for, it works in heroics, but this is why I do it. This is the worst case scenario that you're seeing here. You might say I caused it because I have a shitty build. I can argue with you. So I want you to think about, I have a turret out which is gathering the aggro, right? They're not going to focus on me. They got a turret. And so that's what I want you to think about. If I had a revive Hive, all it's going to do is let me die, and then I'm going to be up for a couple seconds and then die again. Believe me, I didn't want to get gold dust up first because he might go down again. My sound is lagging my screen, but I apologize for that. And this I'll give it for Goldschmidt or Gold Bond or whatever his name is. He didn't die right there. I use another healing pot because there's one right there. And so this is the first part of Manning Zoo, and I would say this is literally the halfway point, because when you get on that train, it's a different battle and different kind of feel to the game after that. But it's a tough slog just to get to this part. Don't feel bad if you're at 40 minutes when you get here. That's about normal. You can do it faster. And of course, if you're in a clan or whatever and you guys talk to each other, it's always going to be a lot easier. And so now we're all back up. And that's really normally where I like to have the turret. So I want you to think about this. I had that healing pot, but if those guys could have taken care of their own heals, I could have always put a turret out front and no one's ever coming in the door. And so that's kind of what you need to do here, is you need to make sure no one, please don't go outside. Goldie, don't do it. Goldie. Son of a bitch. And predictably, wait for it. He's got to go to his laundry. He's got to put his stuff in the dryer and... Don't die. Don't do it. Run back in. Oh, he didn't die. So you can see this is a problem. Sometimes when you're in a group, I should be doing heals, but I also need that turret out there, right? There needs to be two of me. That's how you know, like these guys are going out there playing, and I don't know where he's going. So, I want to thank you for watching. Ronan Kazi, legendary Manning Zoo. Don't feel bad if it takes a while. There is a part 2 if you want. Thank you again. Out.